Good morning, evening, or afternoon, everybody. Today we are going to be soloing Battle for Mount Kaz'rogal at 85 on the pre-patch to show you how much gold you can get. Kaz'rogal is really weird because it pretty much is guaranteed to take 50 minutes to an hour depending on your class, your DPS, how you can manage stuff, and these waves. So we are at the first camp, the Alliance base camp, and we are going to start the waves. For my build, same as I usually go, Tiger's Lust, Chi Wave, Ascension, Leg Sweep, and Healing Elixirs. And pretty much I'm using my flask and food buff. So essentially you just gotta kill all of these waves. You can go to where the waves spawn to make it really simple and easy on you. And then you will get really good loot. I don't know why the first wave doesn't drop loot, but most of the waves do drop loot afterwards. So as you can see, it's super chill, super easy, and we pretty much just do spinning crane kick right here, and then you get some nice loot. And at the end of each wave is when a boss spawns. You can take the bosses all the way back to the base camp to make it even easier and have the mobs fight with you. The first boss is definitely the hardest one in here, so if you can solo the first boss, you will be a-okay. But anyway, I'm going to finish up this trash, and I will see you at the first boss. Alrighty guys, so we are on the first boss, Rage Winterchill. He also spawns here and moves very quickly to you. What you gotta watch out for is his Ice Tomb ability, and the ability that will kill you is his Death and Decay. So this is the Frost Ice Bolt ability that freezes you. You'll take some damage there. Then you have Death and Decay that you gotta really watch out for. So this is probably the most intense part, is making sure you are healing through that and staying alive with it. Now the biggest thing is Death and Decay to really watch out for, but those are the two abilities. So if he roots you, you can dispel it, Tiger's Lust, something like that as a monk. Most classes have something to get out of that. Now Death and Decay right here, this is what you have to stand out of, and it absolutely cranks you. If you're melee, you can't really go in there to do anything, but you can, use your range thing like Jade, Crackling Lightning, something like that. But that is what will kill you, is that Death and Decay damage. As you saw, I took 2 kicks. On a monk, it's super easy because I just roll out. But pretty much that is this entire fight and what you need to watch out for. Those are all the mechanics. You'll break right through his ice barrier, but just making sure you stay topped off in between these things, saving something to get out of snares for this root, because if he roots you in Death and Decay, you are simply going to die. So right here is a very scary point. So that's all you got to watch out for, and that is the entire first boss of Rage Winterchill. I'll see you at the next one. So after you kill the first boss, and this is true even after pretty much every boss, you have to talk to Jaina or Thrall. So make sure you do that and do not forget. So we were able to kill Rage Winterchill. Touch of Karma actually worked on the Death and Decay, so we got to eat an entire phase that way. But we're just going to head back out here, kill more ghouls, then we'll fight the next boss, who isn't really that hard at all. But since we have to go to Jaina, I recommend you take it to the camp and you can fight it there. So I will show you guys that when we get there, so I'll see you then. Alrighty guys, so Anetheron, you want to bring him here, and the entire camp will help you fight him. So you just want to bring him over here. This is important so he hits other people with abilities and spells, like summoning these Twisting Infernals, which can do a lot of damage. All these guards, priests, everyone. It's so he puts his dots and abilities on people other than you. The Infernals can be really obnoxious, so just make sure you kill them because they do a stacking fire debuff. But he will also blast them with the Karen Swarm instead of hitting you. So it isn't that much damage, and you can definitely survive through it, but you just want to pay attention to it, make sure you're aware of it, and that you do not die to his mechanics. But it's really Karen Swarm and summoning Infernals is all that he does, which can add up and eventually kill you, but it doesn't really do that much damage. So as you've seen, I haven't even come close to dying. Here's another Infernal. We're just gonna quickly switch to it and finish it off nice and easy. And then we go to Anetheron, and like I said, he doesn't do anything too special, just Karen Swarm and that. And we bring it back to the camp, because of those abilities, how they work, and the fact that you have to talk to Jada after you kill him. So, as I mentioned before, talk to her, say you're done, and then in order to go to the next place, you just follow the road up top here to the Horde encampment, where you get to do more fun things with Thrall, and I'll see you then. Voop. Alrighty guys, so once you are at the Horde encampment and you're dealing with the Gargoyles, a super nice, easy way to deal with them is to get threat of all of them, and you can do that by using whatever ranged ability you have, but you want to make sure you just have threat of all of them. Once you do that, you are then going to use LOS to bring them all to you. So you can do this very, very easily by going to a tent of some kind and LOSing behind it. I personally like this troll tent right here, and you just sit right back here, and the gargoyles will then all come and fly to you, and you just sort of utilize LOS in that way. Bam, as you can see, they are all here. You can use pretty much any tent post or corner to do this, and it makes your life a whole lot easier, especially as a melee class, so you don't have to just sit there and zap them all to death. So we're going to zap that one, bring it over here, and finish zapping this one right here as well. But doing this on my DK opposed to my monk is night and day difference. So you can utilize that for every single gargoyle wave, and it is pretty easy. But the Horde camp is way more obnoxious with those. But anyway, guys, I will see you when we get to the boss. Alrighty, so for Kaz'rogal, as well as the other boss that we are going to fight here, you want to make sure that you bring them to Thrall, because Thrall does Bloodlust and actually does some pretty decent damage and summons Ghost Wolves and things. The only thing you need to watch out for is, one, how hard this boss hits. This boss actually hits pretty hard, so as long as you have enough to heal through his threshold, you'll be fine. His other mechanics do not matter unless you have a pet, but he pretty much just war stomps you and hits you really, really hard. So we're going to pull him to Thrall, as I said, and then when he gets here, Thrall will engage, and you'll see Thrall summon his Spirit Wolves and sort of just vibe. But all his other mechanics don't have issue. It's this you are marked thing, and this is what causes you to explode, but it isn't really that big of a deal. It'll mana drain you if you have mana, but it doesn't do much when you are soloing. It's more of a raid mechanic that causes you to kill everyone near you. But as long as you can survive his initial DPS, you will have no problem. He just periodically stuns you, and that dot will mana drain you, but that's about it. So if you're on a non-mana class, you have no problems at all. So I will see you at the next boss. Woo. Alrighty guys, so here's Azgalor. Same thing that you want to do that we did with Thrall is you want to aggro him, bring him, or the same thing with the other boss, so you bring it over to Thrall and get all of the NPCs involved. Because, as we saw, most of the time it just makes it way easier, and they then do their abilities on the NPCs as well, and not just you. So it is pretty simple in the same thing. He just actually hits really hard, and that's really all you got to watch out for. He does put down sort of a death and decay type ability on the floor that people need to watch out for. He does silence you as well. So the rain of fire is bad, and that's something you want to make sure you're not standing in, but that is really all he puts down, and then he will silence you. So nothing too hard. You don't have to worry about his doom mechanic that usually kills people when you are solo in here. So pretty much we're going to kill him, and I will see you at Archimonde when we get there. Voop. Alrighty guys, so you want to make sure that when you're here with Tyrande, you get your tier before you go down. Put it on your bar. There is a chance Archimonde can punch you all the way to the sky, and then right before you hit the ground, you want to make sure you use that. When soloing, I don't think he does it, but there's always that chance, and you don't want to die and have to run all the way back here just because you took that chance. So just be safe, make sure you bring the tier. avoid the tree because the tree silences you, so you want to go the long way around so you don't get the silence debuff because it lasts for like 30 seconds after you touch the tree. So just stay away from the tree, fight Archimonde. The biggest things Archimonde does is fear and fire, so I will show you that when we get there. Alright, here's the big blue devil himself, the Archimonde. So we are going to do what we always do, just nice opener. We want to watch out for his fire, so he puts that fire there. If you can decurse yourself because you will constantly take more damage, but he will fear you and he will hit you, and we gotta really focus on using blackout kick to stay alive. When he fears us, it is going to be really tough as well. So Archimonde definitely just pumps out the damage. If you get burned, you're going to take even more damage, and it can really overwhelm you at certain points. But you can always go to your tank spec. So this is where you could possibly die if you get feared into fire. You get feared into him hitting you. It can just be really, really bad. So you always want to try to take him away from the fire as you are fighting him. And if you have a tank spec, you can also just go on your tank. That makes it easier too. Tanks will take a lot more time, but you will be able to mitigate all of the damage. So if it ever gets too overwhelming, we can always use our energizing brew to then spam healing spheres and just sort of prioritize healing ourselves. But healing elixirs is strong enough to pretty much carry us through this fight, and just using our Tiger's Eye brew when it comes up. We also have Nimbling brew that we will use on his next fear. So right here we use Nimble brew and we are back to full HP. You only have to get him to 10%, and then your whole screen turns red and a bunch of wisps fly over and attack Archimonde until he dies. So it is not too hard. So right here, he's at 10%, and then you cannot lose because you get the Blessing of Elune, and then you just sort of hit him because you're immune to all damage. So you have successfully defeated it, get him down to 1 HP, and then you can just chill while all the wisps attack him. So really cool, really awesome fight, and I will do the post game when this is done. I'll see you then. Alrighty, so we finished Battle for Mount Hyjal. So here is the raw gold that we got. We got 1,500 gold, and it took us about 43 minutes inside of here. That was raw gold that we got. We started at about 1,500 and 100. So we are now going to sell this. We're at 16,523. We're going to sell all of this stuff, and we will see what the result comes to. Like as always, I like to take the Netherweave cloth and turn the Netherweave cloth into additional take the Netherweave cloth and turn it into Netherweave belts, and then disenchant it. Then you can always do it with the other stuff. Some of these recipes sell, but not really. So after selling, we got an additional roughly like 300 gold right there from selling all of the loot. We could turn this Netherweave into Netherweave bolts and disenchant that for even more money. But as you can see, it is about like 1,500 to 2,000 in roughly 45 minutes. So it's not the best farm in the world. I would really do this if you are just enjoying old raids, maybe want to transmog, and you have already done some of the best ones like Naxxramas 10, Black Temple, BWL, Anetheron. I would only do it if you are truly bored and want just some really easy old raid gold. So anyway, I truly hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time, I'll see you later. Hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.
Hey you. Yes you. Are you still there? Well, I appreciate you for taking the time to watch this entire video and making it to the end here. If you enjoyed this video, definitely check out the other videos about World of Warcraft listed in these playlists down below. And thank you again. Have a great day. Bye-bye.